Sometimes when you don't see people, they may be doing a necessary season of resting. They may be vacationing with Yahuwah. Not a vacation with Yahuwah. Okay? So when it's time to sing, right, and you're not pressing so hard, you can go a little bit longer. You can give more esteem, and Yah is more glorified. Like, you don't always have to know what to say. You don't always have to have things planned out, because you can make your plans. That's why the words say, trust Yahuwah with all your heart. Lean not to your what? Own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you the path to take. You can make plans, but Yahuwah gonna make it happen according to his will. You gotta know when to rest. So when you know when to rest, you don't have as much stress in your day-to-day life. Not only in your day-to-day life, but in just growing in who Yah called you to be. So when I learned the rest in Yahuwah, I went from thinking that I always have to look busy doing something. I always have to be a certain way that people can see. And that wasn't true rest. Rest from caring about what people think about you. Rest from wanting to have it all together. Rest from the ways of this world. Rest in Yahuwah. Like he is able to hold all us in his big old hands, in his big old bosom, he able to hold us. He's able to hold me and you. And when you rest in him, the things that he calls you to do, which are beyond you, you're able to move in power. And that power that you move in, you're not going to always understand it. Other people won't always understand it. Some of us, Yah has called us to rest in his power in such a way that people are going to begin to call us things that we're not. Like they told Yahushua, oh, you working by the power of Beelzebub. They said that. They gonna say, oh, you a witch. You a warlock. You this. You that. Now, there are some people that are actually doing, these things, and they secretly act like they're not. But you will know the difference once you rest in Yahuwah. It'll just be highlighted in your spirit. Like, it's hard to explain. Once you begin resting in Yahuwah, and you're not going to always do things right. You're not going to always fully obey. You're going to make some mistakes. Like, for example, I was led to do a certain thing for this conference that I just went to, and I didn't do it. And I heard it clear as day to do it. But the fact that I didn't do it, it affected so many other people. And I was resting in Yahuwah, but I don't know why I didn't do it. Maybe I was concerned of being out of order or being in a way that, I don't know. But Yah is teaching me when I rest in him, I need to not care about how I'm going against the status quo according to other people's mind, according to other people's program. I'm not saying that I don't like order. I love order because my mind operates in a certain way where I have rest in order. Like, but guess what? My life feel like it's not in order. It feels like it is so out of order. Like sometimes I feel so behind. But I had to learn to rest. You hear that? I had to learn to rest in Yahuwah. And as I learned that, he pours out himself more and more in ways that I can't, like, people saying this, like, for some months now, people are like, you glowing. You, listen, remember when Moshe went up on the mount with Yahuwah for 40 days and 40 nights? And he got the 10 Commandments. He was basically just resting in Yahuwah's presence. And when he came out, his face shone in such a way that the people, they were like, that's from knowing who your help is, where your help comes from, and that you need to rest in Yahuwah. That's good. Listen, when you're resting in Yahuwah, that don't mean you're not going to get tested. That don't mean you're not going to go through things. He's still going to allow you to experience things that may upset you, may make you cry. Like last week, I cried like a baby. I boo-hoo cried. I wept, and I could not hold it back. I was very disappointed about something, right? But I took that and laid it at Yahuwah's feet and rested. But I still, my heart, I still had to let those tears go. It's okay to cry. It's okay to tell Yahuwah that it's okay to know when to let some tears go and be like, Yah, I don't understand, or Yah, this is overwhelming for me, or Yah, please help me with this. He allows us to get frustrated. He allows us to get disappointed. He allows things to go wrong in our lives. He even allows us to make bad decisions. Because in all of that, in relationship with him, we have to learn how to rest. Because he knows the beginning before the end. And when we rest in him, we can move with precision. Yes, you gotta rest on the Shabbat. That's a covenant sign that you know Yahuwah. His covenant. But there's a daily rest that you gotta have. And I'm about to go lay back down because I'm feeling another wave of I need to fall asleep again. But even in your thriving in Yahuwah, you still have to know when to rest. Because I wasn't striving this past weekend. You know, I really enjoyed myself. It made me feel, I told somebody, this event or this conference made me feel human again. Because I began feeling like, I ain't gonna say not real, but like, things just keep on to unexpected things or things that will frustrate the heck out of you. But as I was doing, helping, and just being who y'all call me to be, I've learned how to rest. Rest your frown and smile. Rest your heart and lay them worries down. Rest in the word. Know when to rest. Know when to tell people, hey, I'm not going to be able to come, or I need to lay down. Like last month I had to do it. Like it was before the Shabbat, and I was like, man. But in realizing that I needed to rest, Yah poured out his power so strong on me. Like I was on this prayer call, and we usually don't experience, like we experience Yah's presence, but this time it was just so even more powerful. Like I was so tired, but because I wanted to, fellowship in authenticity, and I know the other people that were on that prayer call did too, because it produced a tangible presence of Yahuwah. And I was laying down, but I was resting in Yahuwah, resting in his power. And one song that came to my mind was, Father, wrap me in your arms. Father, wrap me in your arms. Father, wrap me in your arms and father me. You gotta rest in the Father. My brother, my sister, you may not hear it when I first put this out there, but whenever you hear it, if it's a week from now, if it's 2 months from now, if it's 6 months, if it's 8 months, if it's a year, 2 years, the message is still the same. It don't matter the time that it's put out. It don't matter when you see it. It matters for you to learn to rest. You don't have to be emotional about things. Like, there are going to come times where you're going to be so frustrated, so disappointed. But you got to know when to just rest and let them tears flow. Sometimes you got to let the tears flow, baby. And as you take those moments of learning when to rest, listen, somebody is always watching and gleaning and learning from you. Always. So when you learn to rest in Yahuwah, you're teaching other people to rest. Like, I sent a family member a picture of me the other day, and they was like, whoa, you glowing. It's so amazing to see you go from being so down to now you're just, it's like you're blooming, right? That didn't come from me striving. It came from resting in Yah's presence. Success comes from resting in Yah's presence, not from thriving. Not from striving, because striving is the world's way. In Yahuwah we thrive, but we thrive when we know when to rest. And there's a daily rest. There's a Sabbath rest, but there's a daily rest. Keeping your mind stayed on Yah. And If you don't know what your spiritual gifts are, your talents, ask Yahuwah and rest in the fact that he's going to reveal it in his time, and don't be stressed out about it. Don't be stressed out about it. As you rest in Yahuwah, he's going to do great things in you and for you. A medicated water. I'm not sure if you can see that. But you see them sticks in there? I'm not sure if you can see it. Those are Ceylon cinnamon sticks. Ceylon, Ceylon cinnamon. And I squeeze lemon in it. That's like medicine. So I'm taking that in, right? I'm helping my body to rest and heal. Like, because I've been through so much. That's another reason, too, that I had to learn how to know when to rest, because I've been through traumatic things. I've been through things that would take some people out, like mentally have them check out. And I almost did, but Toda for the Mishpachah, and people that you can go confide in, people that you can trust and not be talking about your situation. Like, I told her, because I had to learn that you don't have to carry the burden alone. You don't have to carry that pain alone. You can rest in Yahuwah. And sometimes he will lead you to a group of people, a mishpachah, that will help you learn how to rest. And in rest, there's trust. Oh, I just heard that so clear. In rest, there is trust. So when you learn how to rest, you're basically saying, yeah, I trust you to handle that for me. I ain't gonna say forgive me for pausing, but because tears about to flow, because I feel y'all's presence so strong on this. The theme has been trust the process. And that's a part of it. I'm not talking about what I heard somebody say. I'm talking about what I have lived. Trusting the process that Yah is growing you and maturing you through. It calls for you to know when to rest. Go look up the word in the Hebrew context. Go study it. I'm not gonna, go look it up and study it and tell it to you. I find that we hold on to things better when we go look it up ourselves. When we get into the study ourselves. Yes, we need a teacher. We need someone to guide us. We need someone else to show us the way. But when we learn how to study things out, study like the Bereans, I love that saying, because I like to read the Berean study Bible sometimes. It sets the mind free from old ways of thinking. old ways of understanding and seeing things that if you did not rest, you would have never saw it that way. You would have never gotten that perception about it. So I pray for you that you know when to rest and understand that every day you are working, even when it's the Shabbat. You're doing the more greater work that you'll get a greater reward from the one who sees all, know all, hear all. He's everywhere all the time. Yahuwah is his name. On the Shabbat, you're doing a work. You're resting from the carnal working. But if Yah calls you to do work for him, know that it has to be from a place of rest. So like say if you're a person that leads praise and worship, you lead people into Yahuwah's presence, or you're a person that does sound, or you're a person that brings the word, or you're a person that helps administrate, make sure things are orderly, organized, or you're serving. Do all these things from a place of rest. Because when you do, there'll be another level of authentic power flowing from Yahuwah's throne. Because you know because you know, and I know, that it's not by my power, your power, not by my might, your might, but it's by the Spirit of Yahuwah. And I'm able to rest and do and be and receive all he called me to be. That you are able to rest, do, and be is all that he called you to be. Know when to pause and just take a moment for yourself to get in God's presence and rest. Sometimes you're going to have to go to sleep when you're feeling tired. Sometimes you're going to have to just put the phone down. Sometimes you got to rest from answering the phone. Sometimes you got to rest from responding. You don't have to try so hard. That's striving. Just thrive. I encourage you to learn to thrive. You cannot thrive through striving. You cannot thrive through trying so hard. You thrive when you rest. There's a time and a place for everything. So, like, my voice is naturally loud, right? It's naturally loud. And I don't like talking loud. But I think that was the same for Yahushua, because when he went out and talked to people, how you think he taught thousands of people and preached the word to them? He ain't had no microphone. His voice was the PA system. He had to stretch that voice. But he did it from the place of resting and knowing his authority and knowing what he was called to do. I ask y'all to help you learn to walk in the authority that he's given you. That you will learn how to rest in him in such a way that the gifts and talents that he put in you would flow freely as you rest. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, I can't do it right now, or I need some time to rest. People will respect you more for saying that. Because I remember when I was working at a certain job, doing more than one position, and always going, like I'm thriving, right? I remember one of my children said to me, maybe it was last year or the beginning of the year, people used to ask me, how is your mama doing this or doing that? It was from a place of rest. Because I didn't always get what I needed, and they saw that. I wasn't always treated the best, and they saw that too. But I rested in the fact that Yah sees all, he knows all. I rested in the fact that he's gonna lift me up and raise me up in his time. And I don't care about being praised by people. I don't care about getting accolades, being affirmed by people. I care about being affirmed by Yahuwah. You know, if you're in a love relationship with a spouse, yes, you should get some public affirmation or public something, of course. But if you are not resting in your relationships, you're going to be a mess. You're going to hurt people. You're going to treat them wrong. You're going to misunderstand them. Your perception's going to be off. You're going to operate in ignorance. So as I bring this video to an end, because I need to go lay down again and rest, I encourage you to rest. Don't strive. Don't push so hard. Just let the rivers of living water flow. So I need to go get off this because I just dozed off. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It was a weekend, and sometimes he gotta take you up. But when you're coming back down, you gotta know when to just rest in his presence. And it's that time for me. I was telling somebody else that rest, as y'all led me to say it, rest in Yahuwah. It's okay if people don't understand why you need to lay down. It's okay if they don't understand why you need to take a retreat. Only you know what you're dealing with. Only you know what's in that heart and that mind and how it affects you. Only I know what I'm dealing with, unless I share it with you. And y'all knows what I was dealing with that was beyond me. And so that's why he told me, rest. And I've been learning to ever since then. Oh, I'm stretching. Because that flight, oh gosh. And sitting by the window was so, oh my goodness. Sitting by that window on that plane, I don't know. I'm gonna have to, from now on, choose a middle seat or an end seat, because, sitting by the window ain't it for me. I'm too tall. Like, I felt like I was in a, and though I dozed off a little bit, that wouldn't rest. I wasn't able to go to sleep, because on the plane, I can't sleep. I got to pray, because I know that we're up in a place that we're not usually in. And guess what? That's another example of knowing when to rest. When you go fly, right? And I hear an airplane now outside saying this. When you go fly, right? When you go get on the airplane, you're taking your body. And it's the same like when Yah is using you. And his presence is flowing through you. You taking your body into like, it's not normal for you to be up that high. So after all of that, like, it's like your body doing extra work, and your heart probably beating faster. To be honest, that's why I take this medicine with me. See, I wrote on that medicine when I'm on the plane. Just in case I start feeling away, I would go. And it helped my body be like, oh, rest, rest, rest. I can't say that enough. Rest in the gifts and callings and talents that Yah has called you to. And rest in his love. Rest. And as you rest, you'll be able to love freely without doubting, without any. I'm about to snatch this thing off my head. But I want to rest without my hair all in the way and in my face and all over the place. So I got to put it up there. I got to rest from being down. So when you're resting, you're recouping. You are being filled back up. When you're resting, you begin to operate in such a way that it even makes you be like, oh, oh. And you don't care about who is saying what, because you're resting in him. That's most important, to rest in Yah. I can't say it enough, but I could give more examples of resting. Yeah, like after you fly on the plane, you need to go somewhere and go rest. You've just been overly worked without even knowing it. Like, you sitting there. And I noticed yesterday when I was on the flight coming home that the flight attendants, like this one flight attendant, she was doing the same thing I was doing, like doing her neck like this. She was stressed out. When you're going up that high, you stressed. When you go up in Yah's presence, it's like going up in the airplane. Like, it's like, ooh. That's why I was so tired. after y'all used me because I needed to rest and replenish and be filled back up. Not that I'm empty, but when you're resting, you're making yourself more available to be used at any moment, at any time. Listen, I ain't expect none of that. When I say none of it, and it was marvelous in my eyes, in some other people's eyes, but I know it was marvelous in Yahuwah's eyes, because his presence, Yah's presence is life-changing. And so, as I encourage you, I'm encouraging myself to continue resting in Yahuwah and not caring who don't understand. You can't care, because if you end up being ill or not being able to operate or not having longevity, whose fault that was but your own, that you didn't listen to the voice of Yahuwah telling you to rest. And sometimes he will let our physically body be so drained and depleted and tired that we like, dang, I gotta go lay down. Go lay down and put your mind on Yahuwah. Put on the scriptures. Even talk to Yahuwah while you're laying down. And rest. Rest is necessary. Know when to rest. And I'm going to end this by telling you to go and love the hell out of somebody today. Yah loved the hell out of you by sending his son Yahusha to die and be risen again so that you can rest. What a privilege it is to serve Yahuwah, to know him, to be chosen by him. It is not easy, but it's so worth it. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. I love you so much. And I pray that you learn how to rest. Because guess what? For eternity, we will be resting in Yahuwah's presence. I'm saying we because I'm speaking by faith that I'm going to be there. Singing, dancing, and just resting. Swimming in that pool that the Bible speaks about us in heaven. And just resting. Even thinking about that brings me so much shalom. Not so much, so much shalom. All right. I'm going to end this. But know when to rest. It's very important. Rest is necessary. You have a great rest of your day. I'm falling asleep again. Yahuwah loves you. And I pray that Yahuwah would baruch you, make his face shine upon you, that he will be gracious to you and give you his shalom. All right? Talk to you later.